So today I want to introduce you to a really special property in Oak Hill, Tennessee, which is inside of Nashville, Tennessee, or inside Davidson County. And you can actually see one of the most special features right now is you can have downtown views. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but this is in the middle of big properties, very private, but you can see downtown, and that is what makes this property so unique. But before I show you the property, I actually want to make sure that you learn about Oak Hill and what it is, because very often when people move or consider this area, they're very confused. Like, is Oak Hill a neighborhood or is it a city? And it's a city, but here's the thing you need to know about it. So it operates independently of Nashville on certain services, but then it ties into the Davidson County and the Metro services on some of them. We'll cover which ones they are in a little bit after we look at the house. But first, I always wondered, why? Why are there these little tiny satellite cities within Nashville? And so I wanted you to understand that for Oak Hill. So Oak Hill was incorporated in 1952. That was before Davidson County and Nashville merged together. And so they incorporated specifically to keep the residential feel of their neighborhood. So they wanted to control the zoning of what was happening. So they incorporated, became a city in 1952. Then in 1960, Nashville, the larger city, and Davidson County merged together to make the metro government. And in doing that, there were 6 satellite cities. There was Berry Hill, Forest Hills, Oak Hill was one of them, who had to decide, how are we going to function within it? And so that's what we'll cover after we look at this awesome house. But for now, come, let's take a look. This is a Georgian plantation style home on a street called Brentview, which is a very desirable street in Oak Hill. I've already talked about the downtown views, but there are multiple new build houses in the $5–6 million price range on this road. But this house in particular was built in the 1960s. It was 1968, and it's got 4,000 square feet, almost 3 acres of privacy because you're on a hill. It actually almost backs up to Radnor Lake, which we'll talk about in just a second. And it's got 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. You'll see when we get inside, it's designed by a designer. It was bought as a mess, and these people have lovingly refurbished it into better than original. Let's check it out. So this house is a nice spin on a 4-square model, except you've got that nice middle entry with the grand staircase. It would have been grand in 1968 when the house was built. And then you've got 4 spaces. So you've got the dining room, you've got the kitchen, and then you've got what was the formal living room and then the den. And they have opened the spaces up that they flow really well together. You've also, in the kitchen, got that eat-in area, so you've got a couple of different options for where you want to eat. Also on the main level is the laundry room, and then just off the den, you have the primary suite with the really nicely renovated master bathroom and the closet. Then when you head up those grand stairs for 1968, you find the 4 other bedrooms, which are huge by today's standards. Large closets, large bedrooms, and you've got the additional 2 renovated bathrooms that are upstairs. One, a Jack and Jill between 2 bedrooms, the other, the bathroom off the hall. So one of my favorite parts of the house, second to the downtown views, are the entertaining space in the backyard. While there isn't a pool, the 3 acres backs up to almost Radnor Lake, which makes it really private. There's turkeys, deer. You will find lots of wildlife in your backyard, as well as have a great entertaining space. So since we're mentioning Radnor Lake, that kind of brings us full circle to talk about Oak Hill again. So Oak Hill has 2 fabulous things within its city limits. One is Radnor Lake, which is a state park, and it is a beautiful reserve, large lake. You get to see lots of wildlife. There's eagles that live there. It is a gem in Nashville that not a lot of people know about, especially tourists don't know about it, which makes it great. Number 2, there's also the Tennessee governor's residence within the city of Oak Hill. But let's circle also back on, okay, Oak Hill incorporated before the city, and then when Metro and Davidson County merged together, what did they lock into and what did they handle themselves? So the most basic level, schools, the police, courts, that's all happening with Davidson County, even if you live in Oak Hill. But there are some advantages to living in Oak Hill and getting some services, like garbage. It's handled in a way that is a lot more convenient. I live in Nashville proper, and I have to drag my trash to the street every time they want to pick it up. In Oak Hill, they'll drive up your driveway and pick it up wherever you keep your trash cans. The second huge benefit is snow removal. While Nashville doesn't get a ton of snow, when it snows, it shuts the city down. And in Oak Hill, they salt your roads and they plow. And I mean, kind of within 24 hours, every road in Oak Hill will have plowed streets. It's phenomenal if you live in Oak Hill. So they also handle stormwater, and of course, the whole reason they exist. Do you remember? Zoning. They handle zoning on their own. Now, what that means is if you want to do something to your house, you are going to have to submit full architecture plans, which is a little bit more than what you have to do if you live in Nashville. But hire an architect, hire an engineer, get a full set of plans, and submit it. They are not the strictest. There are other little cities that make you jump through so many hoops. While Oak Hill is a little more restrictive than Nashville, it is a good place to renovate, change homes if you want to in your property. Those are the things that I find most interesting about Oak Hill. I love this house, and maybe by the time you see it, this will be sold because right now it's just about to hit the market. But if you have any questions about Oak Hill, about homes in Nashville, or anything about Nashville, I would love to hear your questions so I can answer them next time. Thanks.